Good morning, my friends. It's your old pal, Peace Love Music, with another morning update. And just shouting out to Hattie, let's go morning show. Hattie wants to call it that. Maybe we will. Um, he's mentioned that a couple times. Good morning. If you're watching and you have any questions or you want to say hi or you have any questions about what we're talking about, feel free to use the chat. I try to monitor it as I'm going. I might be a little late to respond because I'm also trying to get through the items on the list here, but don't be shy. We love engagement. We want to hear from our fans and the people watching. Any feedback's good. Bitcoin this morning, and again, never financial advice. Always do your own research. Don't invest money you can't afford to lose. We are not financial advisors. But Bitcoin at 63,914 this morning, slightly up from where it was yesterday morning, which is a good sign. It's holding on to that 63.5 range. Stacks is bumped up to $1.92, retaking the number 33 spot. It hit a dip down to number 35 on CoinMarketCap yesterday. Fear and Greed took a little bit of a dip. It was at, I think, 56, dropped down to 48. So there's a little bit more fear in the market, still in that neutral territory. But maybe a little less bullish sentiment on some in some places there. The top three gainers on CoinMarketCap this morning are Popcat and Bonk from the Solana ecosystem and Beam from the Avalanche ecosystem. Beam's an interesting project. I've looked a little bit into that. I am a fan of the Avalanche project myself as an alternative to stacks in Bitcoin or in an option. Avalanche actually does have some interesting integrations with Bitcoin as well. We do have catch us tomorrow at noon. That's Wednesday at noon Eastern time. We have Dan Trevino from Boom Wallet coming on. They're about ready to launch their Boom Wallet project. Is about to go live with payment links on stacks. They have a few cool things that they're working on. Protocol called Stacks Pay. And Boom Wallets and Boom Payments, some really interesting tools for on-chain commerce and transactions. So tune in tomorrow. Dan will be talking with us about that. Jump into the calendar. A lot going on today for the Stacks calendar. We have Masari mainnet is ongoing through tomorrow. I think Munib is talking about that today, although I'm not talking there today. I'm not positive when he's speaking, but either today or tomorrow. We have at 10 a.m. today is the Stacks DeFi show. That's a space on X where they cover projects that are building and or have established DeFi projects in the Stacks ecosystem. Always some great information on that show. Check them out. At noon today is Gary Reiger's Zero to Clarity call. That is on Google Meet. If you're interested in getting into that, there's a group DM on X that where the link is and where the group chats and some of the follow-up stuff happens on there. So if you're interested, it's for anyone looking to just get introduction to Clarity coding, Clarity smart contracts. It's a really great atmosphere, very easy, very light, open, and very informative for someone that's brand new to the ecosystem, brand new to Clarity, brand new to coding. It's got some really great stuff in there, and it helps you understand how some of these projects work and how some of the contract functionality works. So it's really great and always open to new people coming in and participating. It is free. It's just an outreach program to get more people exposed to the smart contracts. So check them out. If you are interested and you don't have a contact with Gary, shoot me a DM. But either DM Gary or me, and we'll get you in there. At 1:30 to 3:30, and this is every Tuesday again. The Welsh and Stacks Family 100-day show sprung out of it's the second version of the 100-day giveaway that Stu and Bit by Bit or Sir Latimer and Whole Coin Club have started when Nakamoto kind of got delayed, and they kept the community engaged, and those guys just put on a great show, tons of people tuning in. So it's great, great stuff. And then at 3 o'clock is the Art on Stacks with Good Kitty and Nieta. That's from 3 to 5. They feature artists and creatives building on stacks, and support anyone developing art or music on stacks. So it's always great conversation, some really interesting tools that Kitty's building out as well, both within Stacks Link and beyond, with her musical, her mix. I forget what the exact name of the project is, but there's some great tools for musical artists as well, being built out by Good Kitty. And that is the calendar for the day. We have, this is actually a really important one. On Saturday, there's going to be the second edition of the Stacks AI Build-a-thon that the Syndicate guys are building out. And this is a really interesting development. The AI project, or the Cindy AI, which So You Wanna Attract Funding, Attract Funding is the main guy running it, Michael. And he came out of the D Grants project. He was awarded a grant to build out his AI project in conjunction with Paul Frederick, that building out some AI tools that are going to be benefiting the Stacks ecosystem to help onboard users and promote growth of the network. And it's kind of turned into a response to the Charisma attack. The communities come together. We've created this working group at the community level we're calling right now the Stacks Code Security and Audit Working Group. It's in conjunction with the Stacks Link project that's Good Kitty's building out, also out of the D Grants project. And we'll be working on Saturday at 1 p.m. There's going to be a space. It's either hosted by Michael, or it might actually be hosted by Stacks Link directly, with Michael co-hosting. But we have a bunch of people tuning in, some of the devs, some of the people from the Clarity Working Group, the Orange Hats. All are welcome to participate, and we're going to be working on eventually the project. The main focus of the project is to build out some tools to promote greater security and audit mechanisms throughout the Stacks ecosystem, utilizing the AI tools that Michael's been developing with his Syndicate buddies. And really interesting stuff. Check us out. Come out on Saturday at 1. I'm going to make a point to get there, even though I have some stuff I have to dance around it, but I will be there for 1 o'clock to participate in that discussion. Very, very interesting. Let's see. Zero Authority bounties. There are currently 5 active bounties. There's 161 stacks up for grabs in the in the bounties, current active bounties on Zero Authority. You go to zeroauthority.xyz, you click on bounties. If you don't have a Zero Authority account set up, it's really easy. You just set up your account, set up your profile, and that puts you in position to participate in the bounties. To potentially, they have a really cool gig marketplace. They're about to launch their V2, and it's going to become really awesome. It's a gig marketplace where you can put yourself out there. You can display your skills so that someone might hire you. You can hire somebody if you're looking for somebody for any myriad of things you might need them to help you out within the space. If you're looking for artistic help, or you're looking for coding help, or you're looking for some communications help, or whatever, there's people in that space already that can help you. You can go contract peer-to-peer, or business-to-peer, or business-to-business, and with some reliability as to how you're going to get paid, or how you're going to pay, and how you make sure that the job gets done before you pay, and all that stuff. It's really awesome stuff being built at Zero Authority DAO. But 5 bounties active right now. There's one from Signal 21, one from the Nothing token, Wrap Nothing. STX City has a bounty. Gary Reiger's Gated project has a bounty out there. Jing.cash. There's right now a total of 161 stacks up for grabs. There was probably over I want to say there's definitely been over $1,000 in or 1,000 stacks in prizes claimed so far. I would imagine with all the ones that I've gone through. I still have to go figure out who won our bounty, which ended yesterday, and I'm not 100% certain how that process goes. So I have to talk to Zero and hold James about that, or I could probably even reach out to Hattie. But we'll figure that out. But if you're not familiar with, go check out zeroauthority.xyz. They are a tremendous building some tremendous tools for our ecosystem, for the Stacks ecosystem and beyond. So check them out. And big shout out to Rubes and the Leo coin community. They had their a 10K, a 10,000 piece NFT mint yesterday that minted out in a matter of a couple of hours. It was insane. I was on gamma.io. Big shout out to those guys. Just getting that much volume that quickly. That's not easy to do. I'm not aware of anyone minting out a 10,000 piece collection that quickly. So big shout out to them. Super congrats. And just really amazing stuff. Great stuff. And we do have another special guest this morning. And it's a good friend of ours. He's been on the show a few times. I think he's going to be our regular guest on Tuesday mornings as long as he's available, which isn't a guarantee because he's always got people asking him for stuff to do. He's always getting inundated. But my good friend Gigapepe GPSC, some people know him as Baker Bear or Crypto Bear. What's up, buddy?
Good morning, guys. Happy October.
And we actually got a good morning from Honey Badger. What's up? Happy October. Let's go. And shout out from Hamish. I know Hamish is up late this morning. It's morning for us. It's late for him. He's on the other side of the world. Thanks for saying good morning and shout out. And yeah, man, great things are coming out of D Grants. I agree. How are you doing, my brother? How are you doing this morning?
Good. It's been busy. Busy last week. Busy this week. It's I can feel it in the air, man. The bullishness. It's coming. And that 10,000 piece collection minting out yesterday is a huge feat. Huge shout out to the Leo guys, man.
Yeah, man. I can't believe it. I ended up I'm not quite sure how I qualified because we had 10 to give away. He gave us 10 to give away for DeOrganized, which I think was a great plan. I think that's part of the reason why they were so successful is that they gave the waitlist weren't free mints. It was 5 stacks each, which I think if it didn't mint out with the whitelist, it was going to be 5 stacks to complete anyway. I don't think it was I don't think it was
the plan.
Yeah, and, I don't
but they
go ahead.
It seems like they did a lot of the work. You know what I mean? That it takes a lot of the footwork. Boots on the ground, talking to different ordinals communities, doing the onboarding process. It was really good, awesome to see. It mint out so quickly because I know that Rubes was talking about how hard he's been working on it, how they've generated several renditions of the whole collection, just going through traits. I know that they worked hard on this, so it was really exciting to see that happen within the Stacks ecosystem.
Yeah, well, I think part of the secret sauce and how they did that, which I mean, obviously, it's a huge they're a huge project. They have a tremendous community, the Leo Coin community. Their Raider group, their regular Stacks group is super live. There's always great conversations going on in there. In the DM chat group there that they've created, that Rubes has created, which I'm so happy to be a part of that because it's really like if you're not getting that conversation, you don't quite really understand all the stuff that's going on here. But the other part of that secret sauce, I think, was there are so many great communities in Stacks, and they leveraged that perfectly by just giving here's 10 whitelists, give them away to your community and do a contest and give these. And so many projects were promoting this mint to give away their 10 whitelist spots or 5 whitelist spots or whatever they got. And that spread the message. So it got everyone. It was a great way to leverage the tools they had, the community that they reach out to, and get the interest in. I can't believe, I still can't believe how fast they minted out. What's up, Hero?
It was within a couple hours, and I was honestly calling by the end of the week, but man, like just to see within a few hours 10,000 NFTs be minted that way, it tells you that STX, there's interest in STX NFTs and artists and what is going down in that area. So it's really cool. I'm excited to see all the new faces and names within the ecosystem. I think it's gonna be fun building this bull run with everybody, and you know, I know that they were very involved with the communities within Stacks. They didn't forget about any communities. You know, they even hit DeOrganized. They hit different NFT communities, different meme coin communities. They checked off all the boxes, man. Yeah, shout out to them.
Yeah, and good morning, Hero Gamers gives us a shout out. Nobody famous is telling us that it's actually Peptober, and maybe that's true. We'll have to take a look at the Bitcoin Pepe. I think they're doing pretty good recently too. I hear good things. And Trip, good morning, Trip. I love to hear from this guy all the time. He's such a great guy in the space, and he's very right. The mint price was accessible. 5 stacks isn't unreachable, so it wasn't hard for people to mint them that had the whitelist. So yeah, it was
perfect barrier for entry. Boots on the ground, getting active with the community. I mean, it's a good combination for success. So definitely deserve it. And they're pillars in the community. You know, they're the second largest meme coin in the ecosystem right now in liquidity, and you know, they're just fastly growing, and it's cool to see. It's cool to see everybody get a little bit of attention from this too. You know, I've got some different DMs going on, and it's really awesome that we have one of the pillars just getting some spotlight right now. You know, it's good for everybody.
Yeah, exactly. This kind of activity is good for everybody, you know, especially while we're kind of waiting. It holds the momentum while we're waiting for Meowtober.
We need to make a poll, like is it Peptober, is it Meowtober, Rootober? I think I'll do that. I'll do that today sometime. See what strongest community there is. See if I can get.
Hey, Miss, you had a buy on secondary, man. You should have asked me. I might have had an extra one for a good guy like you, but I'm glad you got one. I hope it didn't cost you. I don't even, what is secondary going for? Somebody said it was like 20 stacks.
I think at the height it was about 20 stacks on secondary. I saw that there was like gas wars going on. People were paying like hundreds of stacks to up their gas to try to get the Leo cats that they wanted. Yeah, it was madness for a minute. It looks like the floor has settled down a little bit, just above mint price. So if you're looking to,
so it's not outrageous. You can get in right now around mint price.
Yeah, it's like the floor is right around like 6 STX right now. So if you're looking to get a Leo cat and you didn't have a whitelist, good opportunity to get one.
And to Hero's point, yeah, he's responding to Hamish. So many people came out of D grants. Not only those who got the money, those who didn't but still stayed are some of the true warriors. Absolutely. And he's naming GPSC. You know, watch the space. Watch the space. Yeah, it is. It wasn't just about the money. Because to be honest with you, even the people that got the money from D grants, nobody got retirement money. Like this wasn't it was a great, don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to belittle the importance of that spend, Hero. But it wasn't, the people involved that are building because they believe in what they're building. They believe in the space that they're building in. And again, it's the collaborative effort of everybody participating, like what we're doing with this response to the charisma attack. which is only really made possible by the establishment of the Stacks Link project, which already kind of has us focused in this community way, where we're bringing people together not in a bit. We're not self-interested from a business perspective per se. Obviously, businesses need to be sustainable and financially viable and all of that, but so does a community. In a space like this, you need the community to be stable and viable for all of those business to build out of it. So it's I think what Hero has done with the D grants process is a tremendous value add to the community, which we're going to see the effects of for years to come. It seems.
Yeah.
I'm super just very honored to even have been slightly connected to that process, like really actually, because this project came out of D grants too. We're a D grants project. This wouldn't have happened without the support of Hero.
Yeah,
and
it has.
Oh, I think I lost Gigapepe.
Out of it early. Am I still here? Me?
You're here, but you were frozen for a second, but you're back.
Okay, cool. I was just saying that like D grants, it was it was a lot about making good connections, and they did bring good visibility to different projects within the ecosystem. They post about all the applicants, and they also if you need help, of course they can connect you with devs that can help you. It's much more than just getting funding, so I think it was awesome. I met a lot of good people through that process, and it's definitely helped me a lot tremendously. I mean, it was my first pitch that I've ever put together before, so it was a whole process. It was a learning process, and I came out better than just going through it. So definitely give Hero Gamer a follow, give StacksLink a follow, and keep up with what's going on in D grants, man. Some good stuff comes out of D grants.
Yeah, well, it's not just about the grant. It's about the opportunity to organize your project so that you can apply for the grant. The application process forces you to actually organize what you're asking for so that you can present it in a way like that. And then just getting that feedback is tremendously valuable. But also the network, the people you're getting to talk to and their engagement, their involvement, their assistance in small ways. It's not always like they're not going to build the project for you, but they'll give you a lot of feedback as to what you need to do to make it work. Great stuff. And yes, Hamish, Hero is awesome. Just a tremendous value to immeasurably valuable to the Stacks community, in my opinion. Nobody famous is gonna never forget the old saying,
good things come in small packages. The Bitcoin Pepe community is very small but solid. I love Bitcoin Pepe. They were the first Pepe. They were on mainnet on Stacks before even the Bitcoin Pepe on ETH was a thought. So first is first, and I love the Bitcoin Pepe community with all their PFPs. They're very solid. Definitely down the ride for their community.
Yeah, I'm going to have to pick up a little bit more. I'm probably underexposed. Again, not financial advice, but they definitely are. They're a fun community. I love the personalities that pop out of there. So very interesting. Very interesting stuff. And I mean, it's Peptober, I guess. So we got to figure out what the play is for Peptober, right?
Yeah.
What do you have? You have something going on this week, don't you? With Invaders? Tell us a little bit about that.
So we got the GPSC X Stacks Invaders collab going on right now. So if you want a shot at upgrading your background to your Stacks Invader to an official GPSC background, all you have to do is mint GigaPepe V2. So it's a similar style to the 80 style upgrades. We will be drawing like 4 names today to upgrade one of their invaders backgrounds to an official GPSC background. All you have to do to be eligible is mint a Gigapepe V2 NFT, which is also minting at a discount right now until the Nakamoto upgrade is completely implemented. So that's running through Friday, and we'll be choosing 4 people to upgrade a day. That's pretty much the gist of that. It's been
So
really
just
exciting.
question. So if I mint, you have to be a new minter this week. So if you minted Gigapepe anytime between, if you minted yesterday, you have an entry, or anytime between now and Friday, you have entries, but they draw daily. So the sooner you buy one, the more opportunities you have to possibly win a draw this week. And if you win a draw, you get to submit whatever Stacks Invader you hold that you want to have the background upgraded to, or is it a random one from your wallet that you minted from? How does that work?
So this one will be a little different, and that's where it is different than the 80s style mint. It will be a random one from your wallet. So the prerequisites are hold a Stacks Invader and then mint Gigapepe V2. So this one will be selecting one out of random out of your wallet to upgrade. That way we get like a good spread. We get different patterns. It'll be a good thing.
Very interesting. Very, very cool. I love what Jack's doing with the invaders stuff and all the innovation there and the Rubros. But I also love that Gigapepe is the first one that's kind of part of that process as well. The backgrounds, right? Because that's the first background. There hasn't been another one. I saw a Leo one teased, but I don't know if that's
Yeah.
actually.
So that's the first of the different community backgrounds that we prepared to upgrade for the Stacks Invaders. The GPSC STI or Stacks Invaders collab is the first of many to come. So yeah, it's very exciting to see these backgrounds start to roll out because I've worked very hard on different stuff for this collection, and Ian's been working his butt off on coding it up and getting it put together on his end so we could start rolling out these accessories and backgrounds. And we've also got a few different artists getting on board, seeing if they could put their style to the Stacks Invaders. So look forward to that, seeing the different styles, different backgrounds and different accessories from different artists. I like that everybody's getting involved with this that's interested. It's also going to give other artists a little spotlight, get them some visibility. So I think it's good.
Yeah, it's great. This kind of innovation and this kind of just activity in the communities is huge. It's a huge value add to the community that the projects are working on stuff. They're they're not just here we minted this and that's it. There's more going on. There's more going on. I know that they got some cool stuff with Joey coming out that I'm not privy to all the information because I just don't have time to get into the console as much as I used to because I can't get past my DMs these days. It's insane. But I love what the Root community is doing. Very, obviously it was a natural progression for you to be involved with their community because it's very similar to how you were running the GPSC community. Fun stuff, engaging. We're not trying to extract value from people. We're just trying to add value to make it fun for our holders. So it made sense that you guys would be collabing on stuff. I love it. I love it. One thing while it's on my mind, I was going to mention it earlier. A development out of the SIP call on Friday. Normally on Fridays at noon, there's the SIP call. I think you might have been in there this week. We were talking about Hero kind of threw out there the idea of having the SIP call be more, or because it's right now it's about understanding what SIPs have been proposed and what they're talking about and what's maybe being voted on or kicked around. which is all great stuff. And we've been working on ideas of how to get the community more involved in that process, because it's good stuff for the community to know about. And in their input is really necessary to make those SIPs as all encompassing and or as beneficial to the broader community as possible. But he suggested adding a piece that is more towards the innovation and discussion around what improvements you'd like to see, and maybe generate some innovation and some new SIPs or new ideas for improving the Stacks, you know, um, network, or the protocol through that process. So I'm really excited about Friday space at noon, getting more community members involved and open conversation there.
Yeah, I think that is great. I think it's a good idea because, like, you can have these SIP calls, and then, like, having that around, it's going to be centered around education and telling people, explaining how the voting process works and stuff like that, giving it more of a broader idea to expand upon. Like, you can cover a lot more, and I think that the community can get more involved if it's a little bit different. I love it. I like the idea. I think that a lot of good ideas will come from it.
Here is actually asking in the comments if we think we should maybe run it a little bit earlier. And I don't really know how much that would extend the typical SIP call, Hero. But maybe that's part of the conversation for this Friday, is to talk more about that. But I'm not sure what's on the calendar on Friday mornings that might conflict to get involvement. Let me actually,
Yeah, it'd be good to look at, just to see what's going on around that time. I'd be down whatever time it goes down, but it'd be good to know.
let me actually see if I can. Oh, there's actually nothing right now on the calendar for 11 o'clock on Fridays. So I'm always a fan of doing a little bit earlier than later myself. I don't know what other involvement we're getting from the broader international community a little bit earlier, but anytime we spend more time talking about these things and getting community brainstorming type of sessions, I think is great. So I think 11 o'clock, we can always try it Friday and see what happens, right? See who shows up and or promote it a little bit, or we can just talk more about it at noon on Friday and plan it for next week. But yeah, we definitely need to have that information. I think that would be a tremendous value to the SIP process, is to get more like idea forming sessions about just generally what we can do to improve Stacks with without it being a formal SIP, and then build a formal SIP out of that feedback from the community.
Yeah, I agree. And it might encourage people, like, to show up into it, and bring their ideas up, and you never know. It could be people are. It could catch on a lot better if it's a little bit more vague what the topic is. You know what I mean? It's not just like, okay, hey, I'm going to talk about voting on Stacks. So I think that it would be a good thing. It's a great idea to change it up a little bit, and I'm excited to see what comes from it.
Right. Well, I think you hit the nail on the head. The majority of the community that's not actually involved in discussing the SIPs or pushing in SIPs or writing SIP proposals, just think that it's a vote, that there's this already established group of caretakers for the ecosystem, which there kind of is, that's handling that process. And so all the community has to do is look at it and vote on it. And then most of the time they're going to vote yes, because they don't even know anything about it. They weren't part of that discussion. So it's just not as rigorous as it could be if there was more direct engagement. So I think it would be it's beneficial to get people involved in that process before it's being discussed, before it's presented as an actual SIP, and before it's being voted on, where again the community is just looking at it as, oh, the big brains have already worked this all out, this is what they're proposing, I'm going to vote yes, because now our efforts are just to promote
So true.
participation in the vote. Which, don't get me wrong, most of the times they should pass when they get to that point of being proposed, because they've been rigorously talked about and figured out at some level. But we do need to get more community engagement in that, and I think that is coming. It's being borne out in some of the other things that are happening. There are people building in the space that are also part of the community, but haven't built something big yet, so they're not in the deep conversations, but they have a vested interest in coming together to work on the improvement part of the protocol. So
Yeah. And speaking of this kind of process where you gotta vote and put the ideas together, just wanted to touch bases and tell everybody that the charisma, there's been an update in that area as well, so you can go and select red pill or blue pill. I need to look into it a little bit more myself. But yeah, go to the Charisma Discord, guys. Make sure you get yourself informed with what's going on in that area, for sure.
yeah, there is. I'm not quite sure I understand the
Yeah,
proposal fully myself, but at least it's a start. That there's an effort underway to try to make people whole, which I was sure Ruzar would get to that. I just don't quite understand the options and or how the specific piece. I'm not quite. There's a couple pieces that I'm not quite clear. Like one, there's the blue pill and the red pill, and one of them you're gonna get like 1.5 times what you lost in value, but it's down the line. Or if you take the other one, you're gonna get the full value, but it's going to be in the creation of new charisma tokens. So there's going to be a new charisma token that you're getting paid in, which is kind of
it's something that I gotta digest to just kind of really try to understand it a little bit better. Ask some questions before I cast my vote. So definitely something to look into. It needs to be studied.
Yeah, and I'm not quite sure how the synthetic Rue and synthetic Welsh is supposed to work. Like it's a little unclear as to how it's all supposed to function. Fortunately for me, I don't actually have any losses to claim against because I wasn't, I was fortunate. The stuff I did have staking in there was not a part of the attack. I didn't have a lot of charisma token, so I'm not in a position where I need to actually make a decision on it. But it's a little, I'm sure we need some clarifications on it for the community. The people that do need to make a decision on it probably need a little bit more of some guidance as to what it actually all means there.
For sure. I think that I need a little bit more guidance, just so I understand exactly what I'm selecting, what I'm agreeing to, that type of thing. Maybe a spaces in order. Maybe Rosar could get on a spaces. It'd be great just to be able to talk to him a little bit more about that. You know, even though this whole community, it was attacked. It felt like it was like a catalyst of some sort. Even Trip was saying that, like, hey, these are bottom signals, stuff like that. I'd love to see the community come together and try to fix this situation. I love what Rubes and Jack are getting involved and coming up with their own plan as well to try to help others. So it just showcases like how strong this community is. And I've heard that you wouldn't see anything like this transpiring on any other blockchain. They'd be pointing and laughing and making memes about the situation. Everybody's been very courteous and willing to help. in this situation.
Right. A lot of times you might see some bad blood and some people, kind of maybe celebrating someone else getting some comeuppance, and I haven't seen any of that. To the point where I hadn't even considered that,
Yeah.
that wasn't something that we saw until you mentioned it. But yes, how the community has responded with just tons of public facing conversations with lots of people involved, the creation of working community working groups. Pete Visions from Velar has been having some conversations with higher ups to kind of address the issue at the top level. We have this working group we're creating that's kind of trying to get some more community involvement into how to expand security and auditing best practices, and maybe create some scoring mechanisms for almost like an on-chain reputation piece, like what's going on with Zero Authority, and maybe they have a place in that too. Just the response, and like you said, the attack was not a good thing, but some good things can come out of it, and eventually those things might actually have more value than the cost of the attack, which is great. It's great that the community can come together and find opportunity in tragedy. It's an awesome thing, really
Yeah.
is. And that if you guys are available 1:00 on Saturday, 1 p.m. Eastern time on Saturday, second episode of the Syndicate Build-a-thon. I think it's actually it's a space hosted by StacksLink, but it's at 1 p.m. on Saturday. We're going to be talking around this specific issue, and what the next steps are to build out some tools based with the tools that Michael's already building with the Cindy AI and Paul's building with his AO Scribe piece and that kind of thing, and how they can use that to help the community address this the security and audit issue, which sometimes it just takes a little bit of a flashlight to see, hey, we have a problem that we need to solve. And if you don't know you have the problem, you can't solve it. But once you have the problem, if you're taking the proper steps, and it looks like there's a huge response from the community to do that, you can solve the problem.
Yeah. I mean, I think that the pivot with the syndicate and Cindy was really good, a good idea. They're working on making like a clone version of you and AI and stuff, and now they're working on auditing tools. So that pivot was a very good one. I think that it's awesome to see that they're going to be using AI to try to make some auditing tools, make the space safer for us all to participate in.
Yeah, and that, I'll tell you, the AI, the digital piece was a little creepy for me.
Yeah, it was like one of those
version of myself.
I could only imagine what it felt like to maybe hear your voice and then think I'm not what put that whole dialogue together. It's kind of, that has to be an odd feeling, right?
It was definitely weird. I was sitting on the couch with my wife when Michael first played it for me. It was very weird because it sounded like me, but it didn't really talk like me. Like, it sounded like me. It had like a lot of the same kind of sounds, but it didn't actually sound like me. But it could fool somebody for sure. Hero, actually, yes, it was. That's a great point. The Clarity Working Group is starting in 10 minutes. I have been fortunate to be added to that, just to kind of pay attention and see what's going on with what they're talking around, and maybe bring some of those, communicate some points to the community out of that. So we got to wrap up soon because I gotta jump in there shortly. You have any final words for the people this morning, my man?
Yeah, man. Keep loving the room. Keep the frequency high. Keep building. That's really it. I think that we're all in this for the same reason, and if we continue to have each other's backs and work together to push the needle, to move the needle, I think that it'll be good for us all. So, yeah.
Awesome. That's I couldn't agree more. Keep the energy high, show love to each other, keep loving the room, and keep working. It's a lot of work. It almost seems to be never ending because you can just keep always building more and building more in a place like this. But it's good work. It's good work, and it'll pay off.
That's right.
I am Peace Love Music. This is my good friend GPSC OG in the space, who I'm so fortunate to have come out and chat with me on Tuesday mornings. I love you all. Y'all have a blessed day, and we will talk to y'all again soon.